Hey everyone, it's Mr. Hollywood, and today I'm doing a 31 on 31. That is when I rank 31 movies on the 31st of a month. The theme for this month is directors. I am doing my 3 favorite films from my 10 favorite directors, plus my favorite of the 4th place films. So this is a very competitive list, as you guys could probably guess from the category and theme, because obviously if you're one of my 10 favorite directors, I probably love your third favorite film. And full disclosure, I love all 31 films on this list. There's not a single film on this list I don't think is amazing, and this list was really tough. Also, by the way, if you guys want to know who my 10 favorite directors are, you could see that from the video a few days ago, or you guys could just probably do it by process of elimination by watching the video. Anyways, let's get started. Coming in at number 31 for me is 300. Now, like I said, I love all these movies, and 300 I think is an amazing movie. I think it has amazing visuals. I think the beginning was very powerful, and I think it is a great story about people who would rather die in the army, and that for them dying in the army is their satisfying end. And I thought the whole movie was very powerful, and Gerard Butler was amazing. This and his final sacrifice was beautiful. Number 30, Django Unchained. Now, I still love this movie. Like I said, I love all these films. Django for me is just a film that I don't really go back to, but I still love this film. I think Jamie Foxx did a good job. I think Christoph Waltz did an amazing job. I think Samuel L. Jackson was great. I think the acting is just great. I love how it's like a Clint Eastwood western, and I think Quentin Tarantino is great when it comes to directing dialogue, and I still think it reigns true in this film. Number 29, Dawn of the Dead. I think you could probably argue Django's a better made film than this, but I just like Dawn of the Dead more. But yeah, I thought the action throughout the film was very good. I thought the characters were cool, and overall I just really enjoyed this film. Now, number 28 is The Social Network. Obviously the film about Facebook, of how Mark Zuckerberg became one of the youngest millionaires. I thought Andrew Garfield was great in this, and he probably should have gone nominated for an Oscar. I think Trent Reznor's score is amazing. Aaron Sorkin's script. I mean, yeah, this movie is just amazing. However, there's 27 movies I like more. Number 27, The Dark Knight. Now, I understand why some people would put this probably in the top 5 in this entire list. For me, there are just a lot of films I do like more than The Dark Knight. I'm not taking anything away from it. I still think it's a beautifully made film. Obviously, Heath Ledger's Joker was amazing. Aaron Eckhart's Two-Face, Christian Bale's Batman. I mean, yeah, the acting is great. The action is really good. But for me, The Dark Knight doesn't have that emotional punch that the other movies on the list had. And also, I don't really like the Bale Batman voice. So yeah. Number 26, The Terminator. The introduction to one of my favorite characters of all time, and obviously the T-800. I think it's a great story about a Terminator trying to hunt Sarah Connor, and I thought Reese was a really cool character in this. And yeah, I thought this film, I mean, I still think there's a lot of stuff that still hold up. I think visually it was obviously groundbreaking for this time, and I just really enjoy this movie. Number 25, Lord of the Rings and the Two Towers. Easily the weakest of the Lord of the Rings movies, but that doesn't mean anything because this film is still amazing. Obviously, the Battle of Helm's Deep at the end is amazing. Obviously, we still have all our amazing characters from the whole trilogy, and they were great in this. I thought the beginning was amazing. I guess if I had one thing, the middle is a bit slow besides the Gollum stuff, so I guess that's a reason I don't like it as much as the others. But overall, it's still an amazing movie. Number 24, Killers of a Flower Moon. Now, on an objective level, it's probably better than the next few, but obviously, this is partially also rewatch, and obviously, I'm not going to go back to this film as much. However, I still think it's an amazing movie. I think Martin Scorsese did a great job at directing this. I think Lily Gladstone, Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio all did a great job. I think it's a great story of how you think that your family would never do anything, but then we obviously see that Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro did some not so great stuff to Lily Gladstone's family in the film. And yeah, I thought this film was just beautiful. Number 23, Aliens. I think Aliens takes everything great about the first Alien movie and just cranks it up a lot. I think Ripley in this was phenomenal. I think the storyline between her and Newt was really powerful. I think visually this film was out of this world, not just for its time, just even today. And I thought the final battle was extremely satisfying. So yeah, Aliens is a great movie. Number 22 is Bridge of Spies, a movie I just watched a few weeks ago for the first time. And for me, I am just as surprised as a lot of you guys that it cracked my top 3 in terms of Spielberg movies. So I think this movie has amazing acting from Tom Hanks and Mark Rylance. I thought the journey that you go on with the characters is really interesting. I thought the kind of the mysteries that unfold is really powerful. And even though this is based on real life, it was still cool seeing it from these characters' perspective. And I mean, for me, I just don't know what there isn't to love about Bridge of Spies. It has everything. It has great drama. It has great acting. It has great heart. And it's just very well directed. So yeah. Number 21, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Now, over time, this could very much so move up on my ranking, or it could also move down. But for right now, it is sitting comfortably at number 21. I know a lot of people were a little bit disappointed with this film. For me, I loved it. I still think it is totally in line with a lot of the later Mission Impossible films. And I still think you have all the amazing action, all the amazing heart, and just all the amazing acting. So for me, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, while not as good as the previous two, still a great finale. Number 20 is Mission Impossible Fallout, a film at this very moment in time I like a little more than Final Reckoning. And I mean, yeah, Mission Impossible Fallout took the whole franchise to a whole nother level. The action is amazing. The character work is just amazing. And it has my second favorite villain in the franchise with Henry Cavill as August Walker. So yeah, Fallout was just amazing, just like every other film on the list. Number 19, Inception. Inception is one of the best in terms of visuals ever. The visuals in this film are out of this world. The story is really interesting. I think it was shot beautifully. The acting is amazing. And I thought the final act was just amazing with all the dream sequences and kind of all the mysteries unfolding. I thought Inception was brilliantly made by Christopher Nolan. Number 18, The Insider, a film that I watched with my family about a year ago, and none of my family members wanted to watch it, and then we all ended up loving this film. The Insider, I think, is a beautiful story about Russell Crowe's character, who is involved with this tobacco company. However, he knows a lot of stuff that everyone else doesn't. He knows it's very dangerous, but he also knows that he can get in big trouble for exposing. And just the emotion that goes on throughout this film was just beautiful, leading to a satisfying finale to the film. So yeah. Number 17, Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring. A great start to this Middle-earth franchise. It introduces you to all these amazing characters. It introduces you to this beautiful world. And I think this film just has beautiful storytelling, great action, great acting, and just a great spiritual journey going on this adventure with all our little hobbits and Gandalf. So yeah, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I mean, what do I really have to say that hasn't already been said? This movie's amazing. Number 16, Reservoir Dogs. Quentin Tarantino's first film is still one of his best. I still think it's a great movie even 30 years later, even though it was a relatively low budget. I thought the small scale very much so worked, where you just see all these characters' lives and you don't really exactly know what you're up to. But the twists and turns that unravel, and the dialogue just shows the brilliance of Quentin Tarantino. So yeah, Reservoir Dogs is number 16 on this list. Number 15, Raging Bull. One of the saddest movies ever. However, a movie that's so amazing and potentially has one of the best acting performances ever, and maybe even the best, with Robert De Niro as Jake LaMotta, a tragic boxer who was a great boxer, but then had some personal struggles that kind of kept him off the boxing ring. And the scene where he beats up his brother was extremely emotional, because you really do feel that his brother truly cares about him and would even sacrifice his skin to save his brother's life, to try to protect his brother. So just the betrayal is very powerful. And yeah, this film is just really sad, and it potentially has the best crying sequence. Or obviously sometimes in movies when you see a character crying, it can get over the top. However, when Jake LaMotta cries, you feel all the emotion because he knows that he did all these terrible stuff. But yeah, Raging Bull, beautifully acted, and it's probably higher than a few of these movies on the list in terms of objective level. But obviously it's not a film that I go back to, but it's still an amazing film, and it is my number 15. Number 14, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Obviously from that amazing opening scene with the boulder, which might still be the best opening scene to date. It's close with a few to this whole amazing adventure. I mean, this film is just an instant classic. It's hard to not love this film. Obviously, Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones is very iconic. John Williams' score is amazing, and the action still mostly holds up even over 40 years later. So yeah, this film is awesome. It's number 14. Number 13 is my favorite of Spielberg's films, and that is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, a film that I've always liked a little bit more than Raiders, mainly because of Sean Connery, but just I feel like the story, for me, just had a little bit more of an impact on me, and I love the father-son dynamic between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. And also, this movie is getting re-released on Father's Day, so I actually might try to see it because I really do want to see it on the big screen. And I think the end when they rode off the sunsets was just beautiful. So yeah, I love this film, and it is my favorite Indiana Jones film and my favorite Spielberg film. Number 12, The Departed, a film that I watched last year around my birthday, and I absolutely love this film. I think the acting in this is just amazing. I think the drama and the dramatic elements in the action was just all top-notch. Obviously, it had a very interesting story with a cop going underground with the criminals, a criminals going underground with the cop, and I just love how it all culminates together. And I do think it is a shame that Mark Wahlberg was the only one of the main four that got nominated, because Jack Nicholson, Matt Damon, and Leonardo DiCaprio, I feel like should have gotten some recognition as well, because I think all four of them are amazing. But yeah, anyways, The Departed, amazing film, and it is my number 12. Number 11, Interstellar. This movie, in my opinion, is the best sci-fi movie of the last 25 years. And, I mean, this movie is just beautiful. Obviously, the story is very personal, where it boils down to a father's sacrifice, where a father leaves his kids just to save humanity, and especially their lives. And that scene where Matthew McConaughey messes up on this other planet, and he loses about 20 years, is one of the most heartbreaking scenes I've ever seen. And just seeing him crying during the birthday montages, it was extremely sad. Visually, this movie is amazing. Hans Zimmer's score is just amazing, and just the acting is just amazing, especially by Matthew McConaughey, but even by Anne Hathaway, and even by Matt Damon for the little time we see him. So yeah, this movie is amazing. It is my favorite Christopher Nolan film. Number 10, Goodfellas. From that very opening scene with Henry Hill as a child to just the entire movie of seeing Henry Hill's life with the mob and seeing him eventually betraying the mob at the end. I just think seeing Henry Hill's journey was very good. Obviously, Joe Pesci won Best Supporting Actor for this, which I do like Joe Pesci a lot in this, but I actually do think Ray Liotta was a little bit more worthy of winning an Oscar, because I feel like Ray Liotta was the star of the movie. I do think Ray Liotta doesn't actually get enough recognition for Henry Hill. That's just me. Obviously, Robert De Niro is great. Just the trio between the three of them was just amazing. Their chemistry and their fallout. Goodfellas is amazing, and it is my favorite mob film of all time. Number 9, Heat. For me, Heat does have the best shootout of all time. The shootout in the middle between De Niro and Pacino, it was just amazing. But obviously their end shootout was almost as amazing. This entire film, was just amazing. From the opening scene to the end, this movie does not feel like it's almost 3 hours. This movie flies by start to finish. Seeing Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, I imagine, was very special for movie fans, because it felt like the culmination of both of their amazing careers up to that point. And I also think Val Kilmer was almost equally as great, and rest in peace to Val Kilmer, who recently passed, but he was amazing in this film as well. And I just think the action, this was great. Seeing their personal lives, of how they're the best at what they do, but their personal lives are not the best, it was great. This film has everything. It has great heart, it has great acting, it has great action, and a very satisfying finale. Number 8 is my favorite of the Michael Mann films, and that is Collateral, which I do like a little bit more than Heat, but they're both very great movies, of course. For me, I think the reason I liked it a little more, mainly because Tom Cruise as a villain was something that was really cool to see, because obviously we always see Tom Cruise playing these action heroes, so it was great to see them switch it up where he's all of a sudden a villain. And I think from the very first time you see him on the screen, he is someone that will grab your attention. I think Jamie Foxx in this was great as well. I think the chemistry between them was great. See, the car scenes were intense, where you know that Jamie Foxx knows that his fate is kind of inevitable, but throughout this entire movie you see that he's trying to change that outcome, where you know that Tom Cruise is going to kill everyone because he has a mission to do that, and we know that Jamie Foxx is going to be his final one if he doesn't react, and just the intensity was just amazing, and I think the final act was very satisfying. So yeah, overall I do like Collateral a little bit more than Heat, but they're both amazing. Number 7, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. An amazing finale to my favorite film trilogy of all time. From the opening scene with Gollum to the final scene with Frodo going on the boat and saying goodbye to Sam. This movie culminates everything beautifully. Seeing just one last amazing journey with all these amazing characters. It was beautiful. Howard Shore's score, which I feel like I haven't talked about enough. Howard Shore's score was just beautiful. Visually, just like the other two, out of this world. The acting was just amazing from everyone. And the final battle was a very satisfying finale to an amazing trilogy, where Frodo finally destroys the ring, and then Aragorn tells them all about the No One. This movie was just so powerful and so amazing, and it is obviously one of my favorite films of all time. However, the top 6 I just think were on a whole nother level. Number 6, Seven. in my opinion, it does have the best last 30 minutes of any film. Obviously, with Kevin Spacey, Brad Pitt, and Morgan Freeman, what's in the box? I mean, yeah, the last 30 minutes were on a whole nother level. However, the first 2/3 were amazing too, where you see this amazing detective story between Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. You see their dynamics throughout the film, and then you see it all unfold in the final 30 minutes. And yeah, I think this film was amazing, and it is number 6 on the list. Number 5, Pulp Fiction. A film that is so brilliantly made because this film is told non-linear, but I think that's what makes it so great, is it's non-linear storytelling, so you kind of have to pay attention and put the puzzle pieces together, and I think all the storylines unfold beautifully. I think this might have my favorite best supporting actor performance, my favorite supporting actor performance, Samuel L. Jackson, who I feel like should have won the Oscar, but it is what it is. But yeah, he was amazing. John Travolta was amazing. Uma Thurman. I mean, this is one of the best ensembles in film history, in my opinion. Quentin Tarantino just knows how to direct his actors, and this film is the best of the already 3 amazing ensembles I talked about. And this film is just so much fun and so dramatic. But yeah, this film is a blast from start to finish. It is my number 5 on the list. Number 4, Terminator 2. A film that takes everything great about the first Terminator and elevates it to a whole new level with the introduction of John Connor, with Terminator all of a sudden being the hero. However, I feel like he has a beautiful character arc, and we see Sarah Connor kind of take front and center, and she was amazing in this. And just seeing, and the chase scene in the middle where Arnold and Sean Connor run away from the T-1000 was one of my favorite chase scenes in film history. And just the final sacrifice from Terminator was amazing, and just the final monologue from Sarah Connor, where you feel like the future is hopeful. However, there is still a bit of concern of what the future really does hold. I mean, yeah, this movie was beautifully made and very much so ahead of its time in terms of visuals. So yeah, Terminator 2 would be number 4 on my list. Number 3, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. A film that I saw opening weekend, and even now, for me, it still holds up amazingly. This movie, I think, was paced perfectly from start to finish. I think the action and the scope has never been bigger in the franchise. Even in Final Reckoning, I don't think it still quite tops the scope in this film. And just the ending, I mean, just the final battle was so amazing. Seeing Tom Cruise ride the motorcycle off the cliff, which I know was marketed so much times, but it was still amazing to see it. And that train scene was just amazing. The chase scene in the middle was amazing. Just the action was just amazing, and the team dynamic was all amazing. Yeah, this film does everything right, and it is my number 3 on the list. Number 2, Zack Snyder's Justice League. As of right now, I would say this is my favorite superhero film of all time. It takes a film that I absolutely hate in the Justice League theatrical cut and completely gives Justice League its justice. No pun intended. From the opening scene where it is essentially the ending of Batman vs. Superman, where you see Superman die in front of Batman, and you see how Lex Luthor won, but then you see how Batman, through his optimism, is able to bring the Justice League together. And I think the scene, or the Cyborg story arc, was beautifully done. I mean, yeah, I think it was just amazing learning a lot more about the characters. The chemistry between all of them was just amazing. And the final battle was on a whole nother level. And it did feel like this film felt like it was a 4-hour epic. sometimes it even feels insulting to call it a superhero movie because it's so epic and you could really feel the scope. And I think this is the film that not only felt like a love letter to DC, but a love letter to Zack Snyder, honestly. And yeah, I think this film is just beautiful, and it is my second favorite on the list. But my favorite film on the list, a film we aren't allowed to talk about, but too bad, because it is number one, Fight Club. I mean, yeah, Fight Club is just so good. It has amazing acting. The drama in this with Edward Norton and Brad Pitt is just amazing. The final 30 minutes might be the second best ending of all time behind Seven, which I think should just show you that David Fincher knows how to end movies on a bang. And he does it beautifully, both with his two best films and even Social Network. But obviously, Seven and Fight Club are just on a whole nother level in terms of best endings. And yeah, the plot twist in this was just amazing. And just the journey you go on with Tyler Durden throughout the film of something seems up, but you can't really tell what is up. And the twist is kind of right there in your face the entire time. However, it is something where you also feel like there's no way it could be, but then you still kind of fall for it. I mean, yeah, I think the twist was beautifully done, and just the whole ending was amazing. And honestly, I feel like this film is great in terms of like a story about mental health and mental illness and how these people cope with it. And yeah, I just think it's amazing. Tyler Durden, to me, is my favorite character in cinema, and Brad Pitt completely knocked it out of the park, and Edward Norton also completely knocked it out of the park. I mean, yeah, this film's just amazing, and it is my favorite film of all time. So, of all my 10 favorite directors, 3 best movies plus the best 4th place movie, the one that comes in at number 1 is my favorite movie ever, Fight Club. Now, thanks for watching. Feel free to share your rankings of your 3 favorite films from your 10 favorite directors, plus add in your 4th favorite film from one of your 10 favorite directors down below in the comments. Or if you just want to give your 10 favorite directors, you can do any of that. And thanks for watching. I cannot wait to do more of these rankings, and peace out.